Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today I'm just going to do a quick review of something that I found out about this past weekend and decided to pick up for myself. As you all know, the channel is called Gaming with ADHD, and I called it that for a reason. I have it. I don't talk about it very much. Mostly the name of the channel is just to imply that I'll be talking about all sorts of different things. But I do have a big problem, and that is getting organized and staying organized. So I found something that I think is actually going to help, and I wanted to talk about it today. But before we do that, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few videos each week talking about all sorts of tabletop gaming content, whether it's board games, miniatures, role-playing, or anything in between. I'd love for you to come along and see what I have to share. So, with that out of the way, let's take a look at this. So, obviously, in the image to my left, right? Yeah, right. There we go. My right, your left, probably. Basically, it's a, well, I'm calling it storage, but IKEA calls it a letter tray. So essentially, this is it. It's nothing fancy. We'll actually go and take a look at it. On the website, it retails for $24.99. The original video that I saw was from about a year ago, and they were $17.99. When I went to actually pick it up in the store, it was $22.99. So basically, figure you're going to pay a little less than around $25 US. Obviously, depending on where you are in the world, it may be different. But that's one cool thing about IKEA is they are literally everywhere in the world. So chances of you finding one and picking this up are probably pretty high. So, one of the reasons that I like it is, as you can see behind me, I have this shelving unit. This is the IKEA Kallax. Kallax is popular with board gamers because it has square shelves, which are great for board games. They're nice and deep, about 13 and a half inches across. Or 13, anyways, little over 13 inches across. And so I like them. I have them literally all over the house. Like we need more storage. It's like, let's go get another Kallax. And so when I put this unit behind me, I was kind of wondering, what could I put there? How could I organize trays a little bit better? And basically it just, like, I never really found a solution that I was happy with. So, when I saw this, one of the first things I did is actually come in and check the measurements. Let's see, I think, yeah, here we go. So, it's about 12 and a half inches across and about 9 3/4 inches deep. So it does not use as much of the shelf space as I would like, but there are a lot more features that I actually really like about it. For one of the main things that I like is just the cost. At $22.99, I bought two of them. It has multiple trays. These actually do come in and out. I am going to show this thing off here in just a second. But it basically, the size, everything kind of combined to make me really want to pick it up. So let's take a look here. All right. So I do have a couple of things. Give me just 1 second. All right, there we go. Okay, so first off, right here, I have a box from a case of Monster. You're like, what does that have to do with it? I I buy Monster by the case. It's cheaper that way. Okay. But these are great for, priming your miniatures. I've been using them for storage because, you can fit lots of miniatures in there. So it's definitely something that, I've used quite a bit. But that was one of the problems, is that in this cube right here, I can fit these, but I don't really have, any shelves to kind of keep things separate, or if models are large, there's a lot of things that run into problems. So when I found this guy, that's when I got a little bit more excited about the options. All right, let me get a little bit more light on there. All right, so first off, it comes with 4 of these trays. They can come, fully in and out. There's just some little rails here on the side. But one of the things that I like about it is I can take it and I can just set it on my work area. And, it's all just contained, whatever project I'm working on. In this particular case, I've got a tray where I've got some BattleTech miniatures. That's what's on this tray. And then I took one of the trays out because I have my Tyranids from the Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine. I've got a giant Tyranid in here. Some stuff that basically I would not be able to fit it at just one layer. So being able to just take one of them out and get some extra room was a nice bonus. So we can slide that guy out. One other thing that's kind of interesting, so I've got another layer where I wanted it a little bit larger. So this is sort of a negative, but it's not really a problem. The way that the tray is assembled, down here, not sure how well it can be seen. Problem is black on black, doesn't show up as well. But essentially the little brackets where the pieces lock together, it doesn't let you just take the tray and slide it in on the bottom. You don't have enough room to do that. But it is actually narrow enough that you can just set the tray in on top of it. So gives me a little bit of extra room and just have to slide the tray down a little bit. So in this case, basically I end up with 3 different storage solutions. Let's see, let me switch over to this camera. So here is the Kallax square, and as you can see, it just slides right in and fits just fine. I've got about 3/4 of an inch over here, which actually kind of works out because I can take my extra tray and I'll just slide it in here on the side, and look, you don't even notice that it's there. Just to kind of point out that, it isn't going to maximize the space on the shelf. That's it pushed all the way back. I've got tape measure, about 6 inches of depth behind it. So you do waste a little bit of space if you're going to do that. In this particular case, I'm not super worried about it because I'm also using it as a display so that all of you can see what I end up putting behind me here. So overall, it has worked out so far perfectly. It's doing exactly what I want. One other thing that I will point out, which I should have done a minute ago. Okay, so Here's one of the trays. These are made out of metal, so if you want to magnetize your bases, you can do that. You can put the trays in upside down so that you have everything magnetized to the base if that's how you want to do it. Again, it's actually really, really flexible, and I am beyond ecstatic with these, and I've literally had them for about 72 hours. So my personal opinion, if you are working on projects or you just want a nice, simple way to store your miniatures, these are fantastic, and for the price, I really can't argue it. I do wish they were a little bit deeper, but obviously it's designed for just like organizing mail or documents, things like that. So it's going to be sized about the size of a piece of paper. I get it, but again, it does what I want. It helps me avoid some of the messes. Previously, I had all of the Tyranids and the Space Marines just kind of scattered out in front of the table. So this lets me keep it a little bit more organized. And as somebody actually said commented on one of my shorts, don't put it down, put it away. And I've actually been able to use that with this particular storage system. And it's worked out great. So absolutely highly recommend it. I will put a link down in the description if you are interested in picking some of these up for yourself. And I hope this was useful for you. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate your time. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more tabletop gaming content. Thanks so much, everybody, and we will talk to you next time.